Hi guys, I'm Gasha. Welcome to the channel, to my wonderland, and in today's coffee time with me, we're going to be checking out some of the movies that are gonna be released in cinemas in April 2019.
It's coffee time!
So there are really expected, really cool releases this month, so it is really exciting. And I put together a list of only 7. Those are the ones that I thought were a little bit more interesting and the most expected ones. So let's dive into it. The first movie that is coming out, and I'm like dying for it, it is Pet Sematary. It is coming on the 4th of April, and it is a new remake, kind of like a retake on the book by Stephen King that he wrote in 1983. It is an American supernatural horror film, and it is a new take on Pet Sematary because it was already done into a movie in 1989. It even got a second part called Pet Sematary 2, and the new Pet Sematary was, they started to talk about doing this movie in 2010. So we've been waiting a long time to get this movie, and it's being said that it is one of the best adaptations from Stephen King's novels, and I just can't wait. Stephen King has already seen it. He got an early viewing of the movie, obviously, and he said it was fantastic. And I believe also because this movie was coming out, I think I read that Stephen King put the voice for an audiobook for Pet Sematary, and he said he had not read the book in like 20 years or 25 years, and now that he has sort of reread it, he said it's definitely one of his darkest, more disturbing books. I believe it's because he has kids himself, and when you read now Pet Sematary and you have kids yourself, you have a totally different feeling. As for the story, Dr. Louis Creed, he gets a job at a university as a doctor there, so he decides to move to the city there with his wife Rachel and their 2 children, and also their cat Churchill, that they always call Church. Their new house, it is exactly next to a very busy road where a lot of trucks really speed up when they pass, and also this house has kind of like on the backyard there is this path that leads to a pet cemetery where the children in town, because a lot of animals sadly were run over by trucks in this very dangerous road, the children decided to bury them there and call it Pet Sematary. But since it was created by children, they misspelled the word cemetery and they wrote it Sematary, and that is part of the charm of the movie for me. The tragedy starts when the cat from the family that, Ellie, the little girl, she's very attached to it. So basically Charge gets run by a truck, and this happens while she is away, so Louis doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how he's gonna explain this to Ellie, and Jude the neighbor has an idea, and he shows Louis that there is something beyond the pet cemetery, something nobody should set foot on. Those grounds are cursed. It is an old Indian cemetery, and after Jude takes Louis there for the first time, that's when hell breaks loose and all of these chain of events start to happen. I think that they changed some stuff in the new adaptation. The 1989 movie was pretty accurate with the book. There were little changes, but it was pretty accurate for the most part, and I think this one is taking a totally new approach, just basing it a bit more loosely in the novel. So I am curious to see the things that they have changed. I do love the idea of the children having these animal masks. You can see that on the trailer, and I think this looks amazing. Plus it is very unsettling, and I absolutely love that idea. I am super excited to see what they did with the movie, and I just can't wait. On the 5th of April, we have The Best of Enemies. It is a drama film based on the book by the same name. We have on the one side a civil rights activist, and on the other side we have a member of the Ku Klux Klan. So they are supposed to be enemies, and that's what they've been for years. But one day they have to work together, and this is when things change. And you know, I'm excited just to see this movie, to see how they approach the topic of the Ku Klux Klan. I don't think it's been really done much in movies or anything like that, so I'm excited to see something a little bit new this year, and definitely one of the ones that I want to check out. I'm not somebody that absolutely loves drama films, but the ones that sound really interesting to me, I do like to check them out. Another movie on the 5th of April is one that I am super excited about. The trailer is fantastic. It's hilarious. It is a DC movie, so you probably know what I'm talking about, and that is Shazam. I just cannot express in words how excited I am for this and how amazing it is that they casted Zachary Levi for this role. He is a nerd himself, and I just absolutely love that they took him for this role. It is obviously an American superhero film based on the DC comics and the character Shazam. It is about this 14-year-old boy that is an orphan, and he's been now moved into another foster home, and he's having trouble adapting there. And one day when he goes into the metro, basically his wagon transports him into another kind of reality. So there he finds a wizard that gives him the power to transform himself into this godlike superhero every time he says the word Shazam. So our main character, together with his best friend, is trying to discover what kind of powers he have, what he can do, and I am really excited about this one. Like, this April there are so many cool movies coming out. It is a great month. On the 5th of April, we also get The Hunting of Sharon Tate, a movie based on true events, and another one that I am very interested in because it is based on a true crime. It is an American horror film based on the character Sharon Tate. She was married to Roman Polanski, and she was one of the victims from the Manson clan. We're following the story of Sharon Tate when she was pregnant with her first baby, and she was plagued by terrifying premonitions, and those come to life when basically the Manson family brutally murders her. This was all over the news back then. Everybody knows about this murder. I'm just interested to see how they brought it to the big screen, and I love everything that has to do with true crime. I think it's on the race right now, so you know, I'm just gonna take advantage of that and enjoy as many series and movies that I can get from it. On the 12th of April, we have something very sad, and that is the new Hellboy movie. I'm still struggling. I don't know if I want to watch it in the cinema or not, because on the one side I do not want to support the movie for principles, but on the other side is like, do I wait until it comes out in DVD but then I actually have to buy it? I don't know what to do, so we'll see about this one. I think I'm just gonna spontaneously decide. The worst thing would be go to the movies and then have to leave the room because I just cannot handle it anymore. The only thing I've liked about this movie, let's say something positive, is that one poster where he's coming from hell with the flames and the horns. I think that's cool. But the trailers and everything I've seen, nope. But before I start rambling for 1 hour, let me tell you what this movie is about. It is a supernatural superhero movie based on the Dark Horse comics by Mike Mignola. Basically, this movie did start as a project for being the last movie after Hellboy 2 The Golden Army. They just wanted to conclude the trilogy. However, they decided not to offer the director's job to Guillermo del Toro, which I don't think anybody can understand. If you had two successful movies, why wouldn't you hire the same director to conclude a trilogy? Like, why? So since Guillermo was not hired, Ron Perlman declined the role as Hellboy, which I think says a lot for him. I think that shows that he's a true friend and he's a great guy, and I think he did the right thing. If you trust a director and you've been working with him in the project and you're excited to complete the trilogy, but then Guillermo's not hired, I think it's totally fair to say you're not gonna do it. So after the bomb dropped that Guillermo and Ron Perlman were not gonna be in the movie, basically they decided to scratch out part 3 and take it as a reboot instead of concluding the trilogy. They also promised us an R-rated movie, and by the trailer I'm still not convinced. They hired David Harbour to play Hellboy, and I really like this actor, so it's nothing really against him, it's nothing he can do. I absolutely love him in Stranger Things. I think he's a great actor. I just don't think this makeup, this face fits Hellboy. Like, I'm sorry, but it's not working for me. That face, that mouth, it's just not working. It's really hard for him probably to adopt this new role, knowing that everybody's expecting Ron Perlman. So, you know, I just want to be fair, and you know, it's not his fault, but still I'm not happy with this new casting. They also casted Milla Jovovich as the Blood Queen, and I love Milla, but I don't like the style they've given her. I think the problem here is with the costume design, and whoever decided that she was supposed to wear these stupid clothes. I'm gonna put here some pictures of how the Blood Queen should actually look like, and also somebody cosplaying it that's making a better job than the costume that they gave her in the movie. I just don't like that they've changed the style so much that it looks so weird. There's also no Abe. It's like this trio, you know, Hellboy, Lee Sherman, and Abe was fantastic. The design was amazing when you would see them together in a scene, and now it just looks, everything looks weird. It doesn't feel like Hellboy at all, and that's what my big problem is with, to be honest. But anyway, again, I'm rambling around. The plot here is basically the Blood Queen is threatening the world and Hellboy needs to save it. That's about it. And yeah, there's a lot of action and big scenes and whatever, but that's not gonna save the movie for me. And like I said, if you watch the trailer, the jokes are not even funny to me. Like, what are we doing with this? Like, can you see I'm upset? So yeah, everybody please pray for me when this movie goes out. And if any of you have watched it by the time you watch this video, let me know down below your thoughts on it. On the 19th of April, we are getting the last movie that it's coming from the Conjuring universe, and that is The Curse of La Llorona. It is an American supernatural horror film, and it is the 6th installment in the Conjuring universe, and it is directed by a debut director, and that is Michael Chavez. We are in the 70s, and we are following this social worker that is also a widow, so she has to take care also of her children all alone, and she's working in a case that starts to get a little bit weird. As she keeps on working on this case, she's finding similarities between this case and some supernatural weird stuff that are happening to her family. Then she learns about La Llorona, which translates into the weeping woman, and it is a ghost in the Latin American culture. So basically the myth of La Llorona is this woman that lost her children in tragic situations, and now she is, you know, trying to basically steal somebody else's children. So that's why she hunts the kids. I'm really interested to see this one. I love everything that comes from the Conjuring universe. I think it is so cool that they have been doing so many kind of spin-offs and other takes on the same universe, so I'm super excited about this one. And the last one, it is on the 26th of April, and that is, my friends, Avengers Endgame, with a total of 180 minutes of screen. It's gonna be a 3-hour fun time, and the first screenings went really well by what I've heard, and it had some of the best feedbacks from the Avengers movies. So I am so pumped and so ready. I'm gonna bring my handkerchiefs to the movie because I'm expecting a lot of tears, a lot of feels. Of course, this is an American superhero movie based on the Marvel universe and its characters. It is going to conclude the Avengers movies. We got Avengers Avengers Age of Ultron, Avengers Infinity War, and now we're getting the fourth and final movie called Endgame. We see in the trailer that Tony Stark is somewhere adrift in space and he's sending a last message to Pepper because he has like no water. He doesn't know how he's gonna go back to Earth, so he thinks this is going to be, you know, his goodbye message to her. And meanwhile in Earth we have the surviving Avengers that are trying to find a way to fight against Thanos. And we also see in the last trailer that dropped that Captain Marvel is joining and Ant-Man is joining. Also Pepper Potts is getting her own like superhero suit, so it's going to be epic, amazing, and I just can't wait. So these were 7 movies that are coming to your cinemas in the month of April. I really hope that you love this video, that you find it useful. Let me know down below what you think about my movie releases videos. What would you like me to include more? Or, you know, if there's anything that you would like me to change, let me know down below. I'm always super open to positive criticism to, you know, get better doing my videos and, you know, improving the channel for me and for you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know down below which of the movies that I have mentioned are you most excited to see. Please give the video a thumbs up for support, subscribe to the channel. All my social media is listed down below for you guys, and I hope to see you all in the next coffee time. Bye!